Hello everybody, this is Waldorf.
And this is Statler.
Today we have Battle Report 157.
157.
And again, brought to you from Buckeye Battles.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. This time versus the Vampire Covenant.
Horse and Goblins, Vampire Covenant. Game number 3. March columns, capture the flag.
Yep. March columns, capture the flags. There's my list. There it is, enjoy it. And now it's gone.
Yep.
All right. Vampire Covenant. They have a Vampire Count, who's general with Lamia General.
Okay.
Truth, the Blade of True Thirst, Destiny's Call, Mask of Innocence, and the Cursed Medallion. Or is it Cursed? Anyway.
I don't know.
A Vampire Courtier with, who is the BSB, also Lamia.
Okay.
Another Mask of Innocence. Blessed Inscriptions, and Basalt Infusion.
Okay.
Big unit of 40 ghouls with a champion.
Okay.
44 skeletons, hand weapon shield, full
of ghouls.
command, Legion standard.
Okay.
31 Barrow Guard, full command, halberdiers, and the black standard, which is the +1 to hit.
We haven't seen these in a while.
Dark Coach,
Wow.
and 4 units of 2 Great Bats.
That's not a typo.
These things are fantastic chaff. I don't know why everyone doesn't use those. And the, what are the vultures or whatever the...
Yeah. For the Undying Dynasties.
Undying Dynasties.
Yeah.
I think these things are some of the best chaff in the game because since they're undead, they don't take fear
Yeah.
panic checks, anything. Anyway.
And if something doesn't have a lot of attacks, they may actually hold up.
So I went from an army with no chaff to an army overloaded with chaff.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I don't know, overloaded. And
Well,
and you brought back your photo. Is this photo going to be
it's a stock photo for every game.
For all 5
it
games.
is.
Okay.
Like I said before, the other 2 spells,
Are
wheel
useless
turns,
to you.
isn't
Yeah.
great for me because I'm not playing goblins. If you're playing goblins, that's a really good spell.
Yeah.
Even if you're playing Squig Herd, it's a really good spell for defense.
Yeah.
But anyway, spare list. Moving on, and there we have this.
Oh, what a nice setup. Almost Romanesque.
This was the marching column. So you start deploying from.
Right.
Both of us started from the left-hand side and moved across.
Okay.
Of course, the pile of skulls are just there for decoration. There's a field, a forest, a hill, and a forest.
Okay, 2 different kinds of forest.
Though this one died.
Is that what it is?
Yes. Yeah, terrain is light at this tournament.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can see the 4 units of bats. They're lined up side by side. So they're not deep.
They're not congo.
So there's
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 units of those.
Okay.
This is looks like a corpse cart, but it's the dark coach. And the ghouls over here on the left.
So using those old plastic bats you used to get years ago from GW.
You know what I missed putting on that list? This is the altar of the altar of the damned or something like that.
Well,
in there.
that changes things
It
on those
does.
ghouls. Okay.
No, they're not on ghouls.
Oh.
It's not the one that does that. It's the one it's the choir. What's it called?
Or the Courtier one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, it's the one that everything within, I think it's 6 inches of it gets -2 defensive weapon skill.
Right.
And -2 initiative, I think.
And it has a whole bunch of little vampires
And
on
it's
it.
got 2 little baby vampires
Yeah.
riding it, the Vampire Courtier riding it.
Yeah.
And then it gets some other attacks.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, that's the setup. You see down there. And there's a closer view of his stuff. And I believe I did then I do Vanguard. I came forward. And I had first turn on this game because I think after the initial 3, I dropped everything.
Okay.
And won the roll to go first.
Okay. What is your vanguards?
Those are my vanguards. So there you go. There's first turn. First turn, the spider came up on the left. 4 boys just came up marginally. If you noticed, because of the amount of stuff he had, I guess I didn't do it in this one. Yeah. Where the 2 wrecking teams are, there, and then after their movement, I went off on an angle with both of them.
Yeah.
to try to keep them out of 18. And then it was like, oh crap, I got within 18 of this unit of this great bats. They're like almost 17 away.
Right.
Maybe just at 18. Anyway, so I was like, oh, how do I fix that? And I was like, oh, look, I've got an evil eye.
There you go.
So got the twisted effigy off on this unit.
Mm-hmm.
Put the evil eye on them so I could reduce their movement. Now they can't reach my wrecking team. That was great. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't thrilled. But, so anyway, moved up there. I think the Wolf Riders put a wound. I think that's what he's marking. I think I put a wound on the bat.
Okay.
Giant great bats in the front.
Okay.
His turn. The unit looks kind of weird because they all just disappeared. The unit of great bats that was here in the front flew forward to chaff my unit.
Okay.
And the two
And
units,
those flew over to the center.
yeah, they just flipped over here to replace them.
Okay.
Because he wanted to stay away from my little stuff that can get him.
Okay. That corpse cart looking thing is his vampire coach.
It is. It's his dark coach.
Okay. Or whatever. I'm sorry, dark coach. Yeah. All right.
So I got that. So not much is going on. And if you notice, I also have my mage out here. I tried to put random movement on the unit up here and did not get that off.
Okay.
So there we have that. His turn. This is his turn. Sorry. His turn. What did he do to put a wound on my mage? Oh, he did the snipe spell
Okay.
and got a wound through on my mage.
So he just held back.
He held back. He's holding back. He doesn't want near those wrecking
Wrecking
teams.
Mm-hmm.
He's worried about them, and he's also worried about getting multi-charged with
Yeah.
anything,
Okay.
which is sensible. And he's trying to get, of course, the ghouls on either the spider or the ferals.
Right.
And I'm trying to get the boar boys on the ghouls
Right.
with our 2-up armor, so they can't hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
So we go into turn 2, and actually I did the other smart thing too. I had 6 veil tokens,
Okay.
so I only chose to take 1 die and save 3 because there wasn't a lot that was going to be happening on that turn
Mm-hmm.
for spells. I like doing that a lot, not taking the full amount and
Right,
saving
right.
one. So turn 2, I made a move he was not expecting at all. He apparently, like I said, has not paid attention to my videos.
Yeah.
The unit here, Wolf Riders here with the mage in it,
Mm-hmm.
needed an 8 to get to the first unit of bats.
Okay.
He was like, "There's no way you're going to do that," and I'm like, "Watch me." My thought was, if I fail, I'm going to end up here,
Mm-hmm.
and then he charges me. I bounce
And
back
they
to
run away.
here,
Right.
and they rally on a. I flee
Yeah.
automatically. Rally on a rerollable 9 and can move right back up, and they have the feigned flight thing,
Yeah.
so they can move back up and still
Right.
be effective if it doesn't work. So I was thrilled with it. It was like, fine, if you're going to let me kill 2 units of chaff, great. Elsewhere, the boar boys charged into the other unit of chaff. He casted spectral blades on them just because he really had nothing else to cast that turn, and just thought it would be funny.
Ah. Okay. What? Okay.
Anyway, so we got that. You can see up moving stuff around to the right. The wrecking team, of course, he still has chaff available. So instead of going forward, the wrecking team both went far
To
right.
the flanks. Okay.
You can see the other one. There it is, way over there on the far right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving a gap for it to come back through, of course. But I don't want the bats to be able to step on either wrecking team.
Sure.
That's my goal. It's very important to me. So we have that. Where'd my mage go on this one? He's all the way up front. Never mind.
He's with the
Wolf Riders that were supposed to be dancing around in the back. Mm-hmm. The other thing I did before I made this move was make sure if I got through those bats into the next unit, I would be out of arc of the Dark Coach, and I am.
Yeah, it looks like that. Okay.
So just to help out, I get the Deceptive Glamour off on the front rank of bats,
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure I can get through them. And I have gotten Twisted Effigy. I had a really good magic phase. I got the Twisted Effigy off on his big vampire.
Okay.
to make him -2 to cast, and I also got random movement 2 on that unit of Grave Guard off on the
Oh,
right.
wow, okay. What's he been maxing you? Trying to...
He tried. Yeah, he tried on the first one I cast, the
Yeah.
Twisted Effigy, I believe. No, on the Will-O-Wisp. He tried to. I rolled 3 dice, rolled like a 9. He tried 3 dice and failed, and then it was bad.
Yep, that's always a death of you.
And it's off to the races.
Yep.
So anyway, with that, I managed to crush the bats. He did kill one of my Wolf Riders,
Okay.
but I managed to put the attacks from 1 bat into my mage, of course, and the rest of them fought the unit.
Okay.
He did manage to kill a Wolf Rider. I charged through the next unit. Also have the, if you can see, the Evil Eye to reduce the movement of the unit in the back. Again, don't want him to get too far out in front.
Yep. That's an ugly looking field.
Which one?
It's like black with orange.
They're pumpkins. It's a Halloween field.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Lots of pumpkins.
So anyway, so that all worked out really well for me. You can see the
They didn't require full basing in the tournament?
They do not even require painting in this tournament.
Oh, okay.
I talked to the guy about it again. He said he does not want to discourage, especially with. Remember last year I had a battle that against a unit that wasn't painted. And we just took a few I used a few pictures only.
Right.
He said especially with the, the Ninth Age popularity not doing well, he didn't want to discourage anyone at all from playing.
Okay.
So there was a fairly decent point hit for not having a fully painted army, and you were not allowed to win any prizes if you don't have a fully painted army.
Okay.
But he didn't want to stop anyone from playing. Anyway, so there you have that. Going into the bottom of turn 2, you can see where I'm positioning. I'm surrounding him with my mighty forces.
I see that. It's like a Zulu move.
So he takes his random movement, elects to come forward. I was lobbying really hard for him not to do that and just go back, but he didn't. He didn't bite on that one.
Okay.
The unit of bats that was in the back, this unit back behind this unit, failed their march test and could only pop up here to the front.
Okay.
Couldn't get very far at all. Elsewhere, you can see the skeletons came up to support the grave guard. And that was it, pretty much. Going on to turn 3. So turn 3, this is what it looks like. In his combat, you can see I've finished the second unit of bats, and the Wolf Riders have turned around to make sure that that thing is still not in my arc. The Dark Coach.
Right, and you can look at the other bats too.
And I can see the other bats, although I don't think I want to charge forward.
Yeah.
I don't want to move forward into everything's arc. So my turn, what I do is the Boar Boys, who'd finished up this chaff, came all the way forward, smashed into the last remaining chaff. My idea here is, of course, they smash this, turn into here, and turn to face here.
Turn to face, yeah.
Right. Since I didn't like the positioning, I thought this wrecking team that started right here, on an average roll, ends up somewhere in here.
Right.
But of course, he rolls like 17 and shoots all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that was on the back of the hill moves up to the top of the hill on its move, and I position both Boar Boy units
to the flank.
The Nasher heroes
Okay.
are all set to counter if he decides to make this charge.
Okay.
And the actual Feral Boys did move back a few inches as well. So we have that, and Wolf Riders, of course, have come up to block the chariot.
Yep.
The Black Coach, Dark Coach, whatever it is, and the Mage is all alone here in the field. He has no shooting, and his snipe spells are directional. So
he's picking pumpkins.
And he's playing in the pumpkin patch.
Okay.
So his turn. He actually declared both these charges, this one on the spider, this one on this unit, and they were fairly decent. I mean, I think this one was like a 10 or 11, and this one was a 9.
Okay.
Failed both charges and just came forward a bit.
Okay.
The Dark Coach charged the Wolf Riders, and actually I looked at it and I said, you know what? I'm going to flee, because I don't care if you go into the front of this unit.
Mm-hmm.
So he did. And they fled, and he went in the front of the unit.
Okay.
Redirected and came into their front. Not worried at all about that, actually. His impact hits may do something. So, this is where they started.
Hold on. We haven't... I see a coach missing.
Oh, this, of course, he killed 3 on the impact, and the general in the BSB destroyed the coach.
Okay.
Just smashed it.
And...
As I expected.
Okay.
So this is my turn coming up. The wrecking team from the hill comes down, clips both units going through this way, ends up down in here.
Okay.
The wrecking team here goes through both units to end up over here.
Okay.
So, that's, as you can see...
So you don't do any charges.
4d6, because I don't want to interfere with this.
Yep.
So, on the skeletons, we do 4d6 strength 6 and equals 6 wounds.
Okay.
Remember, he has no wards or anything.
Yeah.
Over here, I did 46 to the grave guard, strength 6, and did 8 wounds.
Okay.
Everyone I've talked to about that seems to think that's a bit low.
Yeah, it's just a trifle bit. Trifle bit.
What? That's what? 14 average hits? Anyway. Oh well. Got that going on. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, but against these guys.
So...
Oh, you actually backed away because now you have to get away from this. I think I'd have preferred to charge myself.
Charge where?
Off the hill into his flank.
With?
All those guys.
With the 2 boar boy units?
And the other guy, yeah.
Yeah. The other choice I thought about, of course, was the ferals to the front.
And the ferals to the front.
Boar boys and the hero to the side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was my other choice.
Yeah. I think they would have made short work of that unit.
I thought I would...
And you would have pursued probably into the other unit's flank.
Could be.
Yeah.
But I elected to move, get away from it.
Well, after that, you have to.
Because also,
now you get
the other thing is, with the coach dead...
You have no great targets for these guys.
We have... Remember, we're playing flags in this one.
Yeah.
So, with the coach dead, the boar boys are going to eliminate that ghoul unit up top.
Yeah.
Because they're hitting into the flank, they're going to just smash that unit.
Yeah.
Which puts me ahead in flags.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to risk either one of these 2 units.
Yeah.
I think I can just smash them with the wrecking teams and keep them at bay, is what my thinking is at this point.
Yeah,
But anyway, so you can see I just kind of clear out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone heads out of town. And the spider, the big spider, moves over here out of the flank, into the flank. Now, so I don't necessarily want this unit charging full strength into my ferals.
Right.
What's got me worried is the fact that the general's way out there.
Right.
And I don't have, if I'm steadfast, but only steadfast 7 or 8.
Yep.
So, if you notice what I did, which is kind of cheesy, he noticed it right away. The grave guard, barrow guard, or whatever they are right here, they can charge past my guy I brought up to chaff them.
But they'll wheel and they'll hit the...
they wheel into the wrecking team to do so.
Yeah.
And the other thing applies there. I mean, that's a much longer charge with the big unit of skeletons, but they can do the same thing through the other wrecking team. But, anyway.
Yeah, they can probably handle it.
But based on what happened to him last time, he decides, well, this can't be too bad, and he does.
Mm-hmm.
Wheels into it. Only this time, it does 13 wounds to the barrow guard. Okay. Leaving him, and he's just kind of pushed him back because he thinks he's going to raise him. Mm-hmm. You can see there's what's left is 10 of the grave barrow guard, and his general is the only thing left in that unit. And on top of that, he failed the charge. Sorry, 13.
Okay.
On top of that, he failed the charge into me. He needed like a 7.
And what happened with the skeleton? The skeleton just turned around?
The skeletons reformed onto the mangler, onto the wrecking team, and just moved forward a bit.
And they're facing which way, though?
They're facing up north.
Where the boar boys
are. Okay. So they gave up on the spider and everything else, and they faced up to where the boar boys are.
And you wiped out the...
And I wiped out the ghouls. I smashed them.
On his turn or on your turn?
On his turn.
Okay.
I smashed them on my turn and did a ton to them.
Okay.
They turned to face, and then I finished them up.
Okay.
On his turn.
All right.
So now I'm facing back in. The Wolf Riders on the far left are actually there. They're just floating around, staying out of combat.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's as you see.
Which way are those boar boys on top facing?
Boar boys on top are facing almost through the gap between the spider and the skeletons. They're facing down.
No. The small unit, I mean.
Oh, the small unit? They're facing away because they both did full reforms
trying to
and
get
moved
away.
7
Oh,
to get away
they're
from
both
the
facing
manglers.
away?
Yeah, they both
Okay.
wanted to get away from
Yeah.
the wrecking teams
Okay.
last turn. I
Understood.
had no idea who was going to step on both of them.
Right.
So there we have that. That's
Okay.
what it has going into my turn. So, let's back up a picture. So the ferals are going to, since he's down to 10 guys and a mate and the vampire, the ferals are going to charge into the Graveguard.
Okay.
The boar boy unit is in the front of the skeletons, which I'm not really interested in hitting him in.
Did he have spears?
He did not, but I didn't want to hit him in the front because I don't know what I was thinking. It was a bad choice.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I wanted to be able to hit him in the front and the flank.
Mm-hmm.
And I was concerned about him that I thought when I first was doing that, I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect because the court won't get to fight.
Right.
But I'm charging characters in anyway, so it will get to fight.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I was thinking about, but I made a bad choice on that one.
Okay.
So anyway, the boar unit itself was in the front.
Right.
So it did not charge. The general was on the left end of the unit, so he charged into the flank.
Okay.
The spider charged into the flank, and I needed to hit him on 2 sides so he can't reform and he can't grow.
Yeah.
So the Nasher hero that was on the far right came over to hit him.
So that's why you didn't send it into the other unit. Okay.
Yeah, and then once I decided to send him in there, I was like, oh crap, he can just challenge me out. So now I've got to send the general in as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, they went there.
And
I'm
then-
okay with that.
And then you reposition everybody else for later.
Both the boar boy units you see have turned around and come back forward. Wolf riders who are not going to do anything in this combat just stayed out there and stay away from everything.
And that
so they
big
don't
blocks
take
of troops that he's
panic
got behind you are dead.
Yeah, everything back there you see on the back of the table is dead.
Okay. I can tell by his 2 elbows.
And he did manage to regrow a bunch of.
Yep.
At some points, he regrew some Graveguard.
Yep.
So all the blood flying everywhere made this a fairly blurry picture, but you can see the Graveguard are down.
They're undead. They don't have any blood.
It's all mine because half of it's the general's. He killed my general. He challenged with the whatever the Court of the Damned, whatever the thing is. He challenged with that and the model fight. I accepted it with the general.
How come?
Again, because I didn't want him to be able to reform or grow, and I thought the general could take a round of it.
Okay.
I thought wrong. So he killed the general. The spider and the cave Nasher really wrecked the unit.
Yeah.
That and the thing that really killed me on this, on both units, I won both these fights big. I mean, real big.
Right.
But what you don't see with a lot of undead players, the BSB halves the wounds taken, or steadfast.
Steadfast.
No, steadfast caps it at 12.
Right.
And stubborn anyway. Basically, his crumble went way down, and he managed to survive because of that. And the BSB makes you crumble 1 less, I guess.
1 less, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so he's crumbling less than he should, and because a number of reasons, who knows what. The Graveguard were crumbling. That's what it was. The Graveguard were crumbling in half because they're stubborn. Steadfast keeps you at half, but stubborn sets it to. Sorry, steadfast caps you at 12.
Right.
Stubborn makes it half.
Oh, does I didn't realize that actually.
And they are stubborn because of the character.
Okay.
What is it called? Bodyguard.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I did smash him really good. The BSB you can see is looped around here behind the spider just to get within 12 of both units. To keep a reroll. And that's what it looks like going into his turn. His turn comes along and he grows back some Graveguard. You can see everything around that tray are there. Now he grew back quite a bit, actually.
Yep.
I failed to stop it once, and
Infantry grows back well.
they grow back really well. So got that up here. Up here in this combat, the spider and the Nasher hero takes the challenge,
Okay.
and he kills me. The spider killed off every skeleton he had left, and has a flank and everything else. And because of that, the court crumbled down to nothing.
Okay.
Over here, because of everything else, we smash this unit up good. Crumbles down to just the
vampire.
The vampire with a wound, and it put a wound on the vampire.
Okay.
So, and that's where it ended.
Yeah.
So we added up at 16-4 with me with the secondary objective. But what happened is,
I'm sorry. Didn't you table him?
no, the vampire was still there,
Oh, it's still turn 6.
and it was turn 6. The vampire was still there
Okay.
on the bottom of turn 6.
Sorry, I
Everything
didn't
else.
realize it was bottom of turn 6. Okay, I was wondering.
Okay, so we added up all the points. It was 19-1. But then, after we turned in the sheet, we were sitting there picking stuff up, and we were talking. He was telling somebody what happened, and then he's like, "Oh wait, the BSB should have crumbled one less." So the court actually did not get killed.
Oh, okay.
It had one wound left, but at least it was 50%, and I got 50% of it and the vampire on it. So we corrected it, and it came out to an 18-2 instead of a 19-1.
Oh, okay.
So even though it says 19-1, it was actually an 18-2.
Okay.
But it was a good win for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 18-2.
So you ended on a high point.
Ended the day with 40 points, which is averaging a little over 13 a game.
Yeah. Just
So it's looking good.
Just that first debacle.
And coming in tomorrow, I've got already the drawings, the pairings are up for tomorrow, and I have Sylvan Elves.
Okay.
All right.
So 2-1.
Yep. All right. Thanks for listening.
Till next time.